Today we've got the brand new Lacoste 12.12 Blanc Eau Fraiche. So it seems as though last year was the year of Parfum and EDP flankers, and I'm already on to these brands, okay? I've already got this figured out. This year it's going to be all about the Eau Fraiche versions. Now that wave already came. We have quite a bit of Eau Fraiche fragrances already, but I just have a feeling this isn't the only one we're going to be seeing this year. Anyway, that's just my prediction. We're going to go ahead and break into this one. I'm going to tell you how it smells, what it compares to, and ultimately if I think it's going to be worth picking up, if you know it's going to be one that you should be looking into here. I will say Lacoste, they make some great fragrances. They don't always get the same amount of love on channels and forums and all of that stuff. Maybe they don't get the buzz, but you know what? They have some really good ones, and we'll see if this joins it. So here's the bottle. Looks fantastic. As soon as I saw the pictures online, I'm like, yeah, that's sharp looking. The front is smooth. The back has a textured glass look to it, and these all come custom with the little logo there that is, you know, not just a sticker. It's got some texture to it. Pretty cool. So obviously going into this one, we kind of know it's going to be a fresher summertime scent, and so it's kind of what I'm expecting here. I'm preparing to get my nose blasted with citrus. So let's go ahead and get into it. Atomizer is not great, not pressurized. It just doesn't have to be pressurized to be a great atomizer, but it's just short little bursts. Okay, so not bad though. All right, I was holding my breath, but I can't any longer. All righty, so this opens up fresh and clean, man. Clean, fresh, laundered clothes with a little bit of a sweet bite to it. A little bit of a ginger pop, kind of spicy. That's kind of how it's coming across right here. Musky, fresh, a little bit floral. Definitely a summertime clean green scent. Let's take a look at the note breakdown here. We've got grapefruit, ginger, lemon up top, apple, juniper, lavender in the mid, vetiver, ambroxan, and cedarwood in the base. So a nice healthy looking note breakdown here. You have a little bit of everything to give it some substance. Starting at the bottom, you've got the woods, the vetiver. In the mid, you have a little bit of fruit, some aromatic notes, a little bit of a herbaceousness. And up top, you've got your ginger and your citrus fruitiness to give it that bright pop. So pretty customary, pretty standard, nothing out of the norm here. But it does smell really nice. And I think at the end of the day, that's kind of what you turn to Lacoste for. You want something that smells clean and fresh, something crisp that you can spray on when you're wearing a white t-shirt and shorts in the summertime, just dress casually, that sort of thing. At least for me, I typically don't go over to Lacoste when I'm looking for a rum, boozy, vanilla scent or something challenging. That's just not really what they do. I mean, look at Lacoste Match Point, and even the EDP, it's still fresh and clean and very green. Look at all the other ones in the lineup here. I've got a couple of them, and they all just kind of accomplish the same thing. For citrus lovers, for clean, fresh fragrance lovers, the fragrance brand itself is going to be for you, and especially this one. I have to say, though, I really like it. Now, it does just have this spring, summer mood down to a T. You know, it's kind of smelling like something that you would gravitate towards once you're starting to get pumped up, spring and summer around the corner. Again, for me, it's all about striking a balance, especially when it comes to, you know, fresh, citrusy, clean fragrances like this, because let's be real, these can get boring really, really quick. And while a lot of them follow the same blueprint, they have kind of the same notes, the way they're executed, all that stuff. But when they're able to work in some other notes, when they're able to create this balance of fresh, but also having a little bit of a sweet, spicy bite while still maintaining an overall clean smell, that's what I like to see. Because it's easy to make something that's just super fresh and clean, and that's it, right? Typically going to be a little bit more boring. Maybe you wouldn't gravitate towards them as much, but this one here, it's got a little bit of everything going on. You know, from that nice fresh bite up top. It's even like the lemon grapefruit's a little bit sweet as well. And then when you have it on skin, you get some of the ambroxan coming through, kind of giving it a sparkle, a slight sweetness as well. The woods start to come through as it sits longer. A nice clean soapy vetiver, a nice mild cedarwood, nothing too strong, nothing dry or spicy or anything like that. Just very clean and uplifting. And that's really all you need to know to describe this one. You can say clean about 20 times and you'll get your point across. So let's see what we have for comparisons. We've got Moschino Fresh in the, the Windex looking bottle. I've never smelled it. And a lot of stuff in here that kind of is random. One thing I'm looking at is you could tell the trolls have been here before us, or maybe they're not trolling, but the longevity calculator is, there's 4 votes for, okay. Okay, I'm back on track now. I was looking at the gender calculator, and there's 4 votes for male, which I do agree with. I thought that was longevity. I thought, okay, maybe I misunderstood. Maybe the trolls haven't gotten here, but then I scrolled up, and I am still on track here. The longevity and sillage calculators are, there's 3 for eternal, there's 3 for enormous. Now, this is an eau de toilette. It's a fresh fragrance. Maybe it is that strong, but I have a feeling not so much. So that's something that will have to be tested. I do think that given the amount of richness here, given that it is going to be composed of synthetics, which is not a bad thing, I will talk about that in a second, I do think we'll get decent out of it, maybe 6 hours on average or so. Projection will be strong in the heat, I would imagine, but eternal longevity, I doubt it, but I could be wrong, and I hope I am. So talking about the synthetic makeup of this one, you can tell, especially after it's settled down here, that it's not natural, and really most fragrances aren't natural, but I'm talking about in terms of being super, super silky smooth. It's not going to be of quality like a Dior, Chanel, Dolce & Gabbana, so on, but we're not expecting that here. I'm just letting you know, maybe not so prevalent in the opening, surprisingly, but the dry down is kind of when you can tell, okay, we're not rocking with a absurdly high quality scent here. That's not a bad thing. I actually think that will help this fragrance in its longevity. So as it sits right now, retail price is a little bit on the pricey side, but that's how Lacoste fragrances are. That's how fragrances in general are. At retail, they are expensive, right? We all know this. However, I think once this one works its way onto discounters, it'll be a really good pickup. Once you're able to get it for typical Lacoste price, which is, I don't even know. I know the Lacoste L'Hommes are in the $30 range. Maybe these are around the same, maybe even a bit more affordable. I think at that price, this is going to be a really competitive fragrance. I think a lot of people are going to be picking up. I think it's going to really do well for itself. At full retail, it's not something that I would recommend you go out and purchase right away here, especially being that we're in wintertime. Most of you can probably wait. If you could find your way into a store, maybe sample it or whatever, that would be cool, see what you're in for, but it's not something that I would rush out and spend basically $100 on after tax and all that stuff. We also don't really know, though, when it's going to hit discounters. So being that it's released at, it's released here at the end of January, mid-end of January. I've had it for a little while now. We may not see it until July. I really don't know. I mean, I'm thinking back on stuff that was released towards the end of 2021 that still hasn't showed up on discounters yet. And if it does, it's in and out real quick. So this one's got a little bit of a late start. Maybe July, maybe August, or maybe because it's a Lacoste and they typically are a little bit more affordable, maybe they'll get it sooner. Really no way to know for sure. So if summertime rolls around and you love it and you sampled it and you really want a bottle and it's not on discounters, that's a different story, but as of right now, I would just kind of hold back and see what happens. Overall, I think this would make a really nice addition to your fragrance collection, to your Lacoste collection. Again, at discounters preferably, once it's at an affordable price. I think it will be a nice little addition for you because it is very wearable. I mean, this is the type of thing that you literally cannot mess up. I don't think one single person out there would take a sniff of this and be like, oh, I hate it. Unless, we're not talking people in the community, people who have, an exquisite taste and all that stuff. We're talking about people outside of the community who just like something that smells good. I think it's going to appeal to, the wearers and the people around the wearers as well. I mean, when you spray it, you got to think most people are going to be spraying it up in the air, spraying it on one of the fancy tester strips or cards that they give you at the retailers, and that's how they're going to be smelling it, like this. That's what they do. They just walk into the room and start spraying everything, and all the sales associates act like they know what they're talking about. And so when you smell it like that, it smells great. It really does smell good. It's a good fragrance. I just think I would hold off a little bit. That's going to do it for me. That was my thoughts on L12.12 Blanc Eau Fraiche. Great smelling scent. Bottle looks fantastic. It's very collectible. It has a lot of curb appeal. The note breakdown looks great, albeit nothing super impressive here. Does look pleasing. It's nice, and I think once you're able to get this for a competitive price, it's going to take over summertime. And who knows, if it's at a reasonable price by the time I do my summer list, maybe it'll make it in there. So if you've tried this one already, let me know what you think down below. Also, let me know your favorite Lacoste fragrance, and I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I will link it down below to retailers if you want, along with some of the other Lacoste flankers, all of that stuff. And also the FragranceNet 35% off link will be down there as well. You can click that and automatically apply the current best code. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.